Hello, everybody, and happy anniversary to the cable cars. I'm Rick Lobsher. I'm the president of the nonprofit Market Street Railway. We're the folks who advocate for the cable cars and the historic streetcars on Market Street. We work with our owner, SFMTA, to enhance their operation, and by the way, we do it without any government money. This year, we partnered with numerous history and business groups, as well as with SFMTA, to celebrate 150 years of cable cars. One of our celebration partners, Union Square Alliance, contributed these wonderful banners behind us that you see. Marissa Rodriguez, if you're here, stick your hand up. They're all in here somewhere. She's the CEO. Another partner, the venerable Flood Building, which has overlooked this turntable since 1904, is gifting you folks with these great flowers that have been passed around here. And they've worked with the Alliance to decorate this cable car. Will the Flood sisters please put their hands up? We really miss Jim Flood. Sorry he can't be here. He's here in spirit, that's right. Chinatown Merchants, Fisherman's Wharf, Pier 39, Ghirardelli Square, Downtown San Francisco Partnership. They've all contributed to help us bring you cable car history. Mike Phipps and Don Holmgren of the Cable Car Museum are here somewhere, and they should be inside the circle here. If they're not, they should make their way up. Now, when you see Powell Cable Car 1 on the turntable here, you'll see temporary photos on the side windows. We did these to teach a little cable car history to everybody who sees the car and rides them this year. Many of the photos come from the wonderful, and I mean wonderful, SFMTA archive, and show the San Francisco of past decades that these cable cars operated in. Jeremy Menzies is the photographer and archivist for SFMTA. He's busy, he's over there, he's working. Oh, there he is. Oh, I knew you'd be front and center. Thank you, Jeremy. Rather than run down cable car history, we've summarized some critical things on handout cards that should be available over there. So take a look, pick up a program next to the banners over there. Thank you. Thank you, Anton. Turn up your hearing aid. That might help. Tony Sabella, everybody. Another old San Francisco family. So pick up one of those programs and you'll see there. Oh, somebody's giving us feedback. Thank you. I have professional audio people here. So there's all kinds of special cable car history on the website we put together, sfcablecars.org. You can type that in, or you can scan your phone on any of these pictures and you'll be taken right to it. Now, let's get to the important speakers here, starting with someone I know is a huge cable car lover, working so hard for San Francisco every single day, our mayor, the Honorable London Breed.
Maybe this might work a little bit better.
Yeah.
All right.
London!
All right, let's celebrate 150 years of cable cars in San Francisco. Now, let me tell you why that's important. Because San Francisco is a city of firsts.
That's right, man.
Not only was the cable car invented here and others followed in other cities around the entire world, right now the cable car only exists in the city and county of San Francisco. And let me tell you why. Because of women. Yes, a man invented the cable car, and we named Holiday Plaza after him. So he is credited with that. But it was women who stepped up to make sure that this amazing cable car continued to be a part of the fabric of San Francisco for 150 years. I know that we acknowledge all the amazing Flood women who are joining us here today, and it's so great to see you. But it was Frida Clausman who saved the cable cars in 1947 when everyone wanted to start to automate San Francisco and use a new system of buses. a system of buses that will move people around the city faster, because you know how people love technology and they love to get somewhere quick. But she stepped up, fought hard, put a measure on the ballot, and it was passed to not only save the cable cars in San Francisco, but to allow them to continue. Another woman who stepped up to help make sure that the cable cars continued was our former mayor, Dianne Feinstein. This system in the late 1970s needed a complete overhaul. We needed to make sure it continued to run and it was safe. So she raised money in the private sector to allow for an opportunity to make investments in the cable car to maintain and keep the system running. And the other woman who was instrumental in the success of the cable cars, you know, the conductors are pretty amazing. They do a lot of great work. They got to be strong. They got to be with it. And 25 years ago, Fannie Mae Barnes, the first woman to lay hands on the equipment, to run the cable car system, to make it work, and to make people feel welcome to San Francisco. This woman was a trailblazer, and we're so glad to have you here. That's your mama. We're glad that, well, her whole family is here, because we are honoring you and your legacy and everything you did to make the cable car so successful. So thank you, Ms. Barnes. It's great to have you here.
Thank you so much.
So women do it all.
Yes.
But we also know San Francisco is a special place. And so many people, again, talk about the first. The first to invent the cable car. The first to invent television. Did you all know that?
Yes.
And the first to invent the clap-on here in San Francisco, which actually opened the door for all of the technology advancements we're seeing here today. It's no wonder people want to be here. It's no wonder many of those folks who have left San Francisco have decided to come back and to start their business and to open the door to new technologies, new industries. Because every time you think about some of the amazing things that happen in the world, it all starts here. And the cable car is an important tribute to San Francisco's resilience, its history, and its legacy. And last but not least, today we're going to dedicate a cable car in honor of someone who symbolizes the love for San Francisco. The person who talked about what it means to ride the cable car on our rolling hills and to almost touch the stars at its peak. A person who loved the city and county of San Francisco, Mr. Tony Bennett. That amazing tribute, I Left My Heart in San Francisco, performed at the Fairmont Hotel in the Venetian Room for the first time. That has been a true ballad and a contribution to San Francisco that is like no other song that exists. So today, as we recognize him and his legacy and his love for San Francisco, we will honor him by dedicating a cable car named for Tony Bennett. So thank you again for everyone who is joining here, those who live here, those who work here, those who visit here, those who got dressed up in outfits that represent San Francisco's history early on, but also the movement. The first Earth Day in 1970 was here in San Francisco in Golden Gate Park. It has set off a movement for environmental change, environmental justice, and a number of things. I can go on and on about how great San Francisco is, but I know you will experience it for yourself on this cable car. So thank you all so much for being here, and I want to turn it back over to Rick.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Do we have women leaders in this town or what? We always have had. We have even more now. And now we're going to have a very special leader, one who set a new standard in this country of dignity, of smarts, of resilience, And it's my, as they used to say in Washington, it's my high privilege and distinct honor of presenting to you the Speaker Emerita of the U.S. House of Representatives, the Honorable Nancy Pelosi.
Thank you, Rick.
Good to see you.
Thank you very much, Rick.
Welcome, Madam Speaker.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I'm honored to be here with you always. Let me just say to Rick Lauscher, thank you for your leadership. Whether in the private sector, in the nonprofit sector, in the public sector, you have been a real champion for San Francisco. Thank you, Rick Lauscher. It's an honor to be with you. I see Karen Flood, Judy Wilbur, oh my gosh. Or now, so many. Hi. The family, the Flood family. What a special day this is. Imagine, you want me to hold it up higher? Imagine that it's been this many years. The Market Street Railway has been something that has been a model to the country, has been a symbol of San Francisco's spirit of innovation right from the start. And I want to recognize Mayor London Breed for her tremendous leadership of our city. Thank you very much, Madam Mayor. Honored to be with you. I know how important this occasion is to you in terms of what it stands for historically and what it means for the future. Aaron Peskin, thank you, Supervisor, Mr. President. It's an honor to be with you. Phil Ting, our assemblyman who was with us here. We have a representation of federal, state, and local government. Again, most importantly, we have each and every one of you, representatives of the community. Jeff Tumlin, thank you for your leadership as well. And our big star, our VIP of the day, Fannie Mae Barnes, the first female cable car grip. She's our VIP.
The one and only.
The first and foremost. So here we are, and again, I want to mention Mayor Dianne Feinstein, Senator Feinstein now. She was such an advocate for the cable cars. Sometimes we'd have our moments together because she'd be praising some Republicans in Congress who had helped with the cable cars, and some Republicans did then, and I'd be like, why are you praising them? They're Republicans and we're trying to defeat them. But she was always about San Francisco, and she was always about the cable cars, and she even, these cable cars that again started our city's innovation, and with Tony Bennett and Diane riding with him on the cable cars, taking us to the stars, to a brilliant future. And I won't sing, okay, I won't sing, but not only Tony Bennett, but Maya Angelou herself, just 15 years old, set her sights on working as a conductor aboard the streetcar. Just think of all of these incredible connections. So it's my honor to be here with all of you. There's so much to be said about the families, about the sense of community, about the businesses, about the entrepreneurship, about the innovation of San Francisco. But it's also a moment for us to take pride in our past, a past, I'll say it a third time, a past that was about innovation for the future. Congratulations to all of us on this feast. Madam Mayor, I know that you take great pride in being mayor of San Francisco every minute of every day. But isn't it exciting today to have this very special. So now it is my privilege to yield back to Rick Lauscher. Rick Lauscher, thank you very much, dear. Thank you.
That's the nicest privilege I've ever had, Madam Speaker. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you for your
I stay
leadership.
within my frame of time.
Thank you. Thank you for your leadership of our nation as well as our city. We owe you. Thank you. Tough act to follow, but the guy I'm going to introduce is up to it. There are 11 members of the Board of Supervisors in San Francisco, but there is only one president. There are 11 members of the Board of Supervisors, but there is only one who has every cable car in his district. Ladies and gentlemen, President Aaron Peskin.
Thank you, Rick, and thank you to the Market Street Railway for your stewardship. Thank you to TWU Local 250A and Fannie Barnes and all of her colleagues before, during, and since. Much is made of the symbol of resiliency, the phoenix rising from the ashes. But I suggest to all of us San Franciscans that the real symbol of resiliency is our cable car. A cable car that survived not one, but two pandemics, that survived the city burning to the ground, that survived two great earthquakes, that survived mayors who wanted to rip them out. This is the symbol of the city that knows how, knew how, and continues to know how. God bless these cable cars. Now let's put this in a little monetary context. I think Mr. Halliday raised $28,000 to build the first 5,300 feet of track along Clay Street. It took Dianne Feinstein in her efforts, 110 years later, $60 million to refurbish it. I want to thank and acknowledge the SFMTA that has kept it in a good state of repair ever since. But these cable cars are inextricably linked to the economic success of San Francisco, not only because they attract tourists from around the world, but because they continue to deliver our people to work each and every day before pandemics, during pandemics, after pandemics. And I will leave you with this remaining thought. If you ever want to run for supervisor of District 3, I've never revealed this until now, the best place to campaign is on the cable car in the morning when everybody who's commuting to work from District 3 to their jobs in District 3 is available to receive your flyer, even though I think technically, Jeff, you're not supposed to do that on the cable car. Congratulations on 150 years. Rick?
Thank you, Aaron. Thank you. So glad Telegraph Hill is represented here. It's such a core part of the city. Most people don't recognize how unusual our transportation agency is. Besides transit, they oversee taxis, bicycle infrastructures, parking, streetscapes, and a lot more. Leading that agency is a huge job and a tough one, never tougher than the past 3 years through pandemic, fiscal threats, and city recovery. So glad it has been in the very capable hands of Director of Transportation, Jeff Tumlin. Jeff?
Thank you, Rick. I'm Jeff Tumlin, San Francisco's Director of Transportation, and there is a reason the phoenix rising from the flames is on the flag of the great city of San Francisco. When Andrew Halliday and his father immigrated to California from Scotland, they failed at mining gold. But they reinvented themselves by reinventing a way of making wire rope and then having the completely crazy idea of taking mining ore cart technology and applying it to San Francisco's equally crazy topography. At 4 o'clock in the morning on August 2nd of 1873, Andrew Halliday himself had to be the one to trial the first run of the cable car because no one else wanted to do it because they thought it was a crazy idea. It is here in San Francisco that crazy technological ideas come to life. And every 10 to 15 years, this city transitions from a bust to a boom economy by once again reinventing technology and figuring out what is next. But even in thinking about the future, San Francisco continues to hold on to its core, its heart. It holds on to our core values, particularly civility and joy. Nothing exemplifies both creativity and technology, but also civility and joy at the same time, better than San Francisco's cable cars, and I am humbled to be here for my short term being a steward of these incredible resources. We couldn't do this without strong support from our federal, our state, our local policymakers, even our own board of directors. And Lydia So, our newest board member, is here, our latest steward of the cable car system. But more importantly, the people who really make the cable cars work are our brilliant staff. We've got Fred Butler, we've got Arnie Hansen, Rob Bergeson, Mike Carrasco, Rigo Hernandez, Wes Valeris, one of our alumni, and we have folks including Valentin Lupez and Derek Johnson who will be taking us on this inaugural run. And we also remember our history here, including the incredible history of our staff. And I would like to now bring up the Speaker and the Mayor to honor Ms. Fannie Mae Barnes, the first female grip of the San Francisco cable car system. Miss Fannie Mae.
It's heavy.
I know. Yeah.
Hold it.
Miss Fannie Mae, would you like to say a few words?
Yes, I'm so happy to be here, and I'm very happy about being the first female up front on the cable car. Growing up in a small town in Georgia, my mom told me, baby, you can do exactly what you want to do. You just have to put in the work. And that's exactly what I did. Just what my mom told me to do. I put in the work, and I became the first female up front at age. The phenomenal part about it was that I did it at age 52. Absolutely unheard of. Okay?
Thank you so much, and now I'll bring back Rick Lobsher and offer equal thanks to the phenomenal volunteers at Market Street Railway.
That's a bell for Fannie Mae. I'm not any good at it, but boy, is she a treasure for our city and a real path breaker. We appreciate that. We mustn't leave out Sacramento. We depend on our representatives in the state capitol and the assembly and the state senate to fight for more transit funding and more funding of other kinds that the city needs to survive. We have a great team of legislators, and one of them, Assembly Member Phil Ting, is representing his colleagues Matt Haney and Scott Wiener with a resolution. And he's going to present it to Jeff. Phil?
Perfect. Thank you, Rick. Come on up, Jeff. Again, you've heard how important the cable cars not just are to San Franciscans, but really to everybody who thinks about San Francisco. To me, this is a city that is a beacon. It's a light where people come to San Francisco. People want to be tourists here. People want to live here. People want to make their way here or find a better life here. And there's no better symbol. There's really, to me, in my mind, two symbols. We have the Golden Gate Bridge and we have our cable cars. And that is a symbol of inclusion. It's a symbol of welcoming. I think Jeff talked about how important it is when you ride these cars. It's not just the tourists that ride them. You heard from our supervisor, our president of the board, talk about it's San Francisco residents getting to work, running their errands, really everything that's part of their day. And then you have our amazing tourists who come here to really line up at this turnaround to enjoy it. But to me, this symbol is something that has to be precious. We have to preserve it. We have to make sure that we are doing everything possible to make sure that we can maintain it. That's one of the reasons we work very, very hard at the state level to do more funding for transit this year, $5 billion across the state. Part of that is to make sure that Muni, BART, AC Transit can keep operating. Very, very critical services, absolutely needed, and making sure these cable cars keep running is going to be at the top of that list. So, again, congratulations, Jeff. On behalf of our delegation, Senator Wiener, Assemblymember Haney, really just appreciate you and your staff for all the hard work. We've had a couple rough years with the pandemic, and we're still getting through it, but really appreciate you, all the operators for showing up every single day. You know, rain or shine, no matter what's happening, making sure that the system is running, the cars are running, everything. Thank you also, Rick, for your tireless efforts for just making sure that we don't forget our amazing cable cars in this Market Street Railway. So thank you, Rick.
Thank you,
Appreciate it.
Well, okay. Cable cars can take you halfway to the stars, We all know that. Today they can take you 150 years into the past as well. At least that's true of these distinguished past San Franciscans who have time traveled to be here with us. Emperor Norton is here. This is very important. And let me introduce you to someone who we wouldn't be here today without, the inventor of the cable car, Mr. Andrew Halliday. Woo! This is a microphone. You talk into it and it makes sense.
Amazing. Well, first of all, I want to thank Professor Brown for bringing many of us here on his DeLorean time machine. And you know, actually on that very first day, we were going up the Clay Street Hill, and the man I had hired to be the gripman actually panicked when he saw the steep hill down below, and he ran away. So I had to take the grip myself. But I'm assured that the gripmen today will stay on the car, right? They will, yes. Great. So today we're looking at cable car number 1, looking just like the original cars on the Powell Street line, which began to operate in 1888. Isn't she a beauty? Yeah. I personally want to thank all the workers, the carpenters, the painters, the iron workers, who lovingly restore and rebuild and refurbish these cars with skilled hands and dedicated hearts. I also want to thank the gripmen and conductors and power plant operators who maintain this system in all sorts of weather, day and night. I think they are to be congratulated for their hard work. And I also want to thank the city for continuing to fund the cable cars. And I hope you will keep the fares at 5 cents. So I invite all of you, the residents, our dear residents, and our dear visitors, to ride the cable cars, enjoy the journey, enjoy the views, and know that you're riding one of the treasures of San Francisco. May they continue to run for another 150 years.
Thank you so much, Mr. Halliday. It's an honor to have you here. Make sure you turn up the DeLorean to 1873 when you go back. Thank you. I want to do a quick shout out to the crew on this cable car. They're all special, they're all hard workers, but Val Lupese is also a noted cable car historian. He's been a gripman for quite a time, and he's a wonderful guy, and we appreciate him very much. And Derek Johnson, who is our conductor today. He's a great conductor. He's also active in Local 250A, and I want to shout out to all of organized labor that's represented in all the crafts of cable car. That shows you what union work can do. The quality is unbelievable, and it's never been better than today. So, we've had great support from the San Francisco Historical Society, and Steve and his reenactors, Steve Johnson, alias Andrew Halliday, is done a great job in rounding all these people up. We have people from every era here. Donna Huggins is here as a person of the 60s, I guess. I hope that's not a current outfit, but you never know. And all the folks from the Art Deco Society and all these other groups who have come, I know I'm going to miss some people. So we all know how valuable our cable cars are to San Francisco. But I thought it was time to get a professional assessment. So who better to do that than our city and county assessor, Joaquin Thomas. Joaquin, I wanted to ask you,
yes, Rick.
Professionally, how valuable do you think the cable cars are?
Well, we're lucky because even though there's no taxable value to these cars, the values are immeasurable in their benefit to our city and county of San Francisco. The memories they create, the workers they employ, the experiences that are provided to San Franciscans and visitors who come to enjoy the city, heading to Union Square, to Swenson's for a cup of ice cream, all the way down to the other side of the hill to see the bay. Those are the memories we create in San Francisco, and that's the value that we provide with these cable cars.
You mentioned Swenson's. They're at the corner of Hyde and Union since 1948, locally owned business. The cable cars actually do provide economic value that you can assess through all these small businesses and other places that benefit from their value. Is that right?
And the best part is you can just hop off that train at each of those stops and visit each neighborhood along the way, filled with diverse and vibrant small businesses that make our city shine.
Thank you, Joaquin.
Thank you so much, Rick.
I have to make a full disclosure here. Joaquin represents the next generation of city leadership, and we're in really good hands with folks like Joaquin. Also, I went to college with his father, Art, so Art owes me now. No, that's not true. Joaquin is a great leader of our town. Our cable cars are still with us because of the work of thousands of San Franciscans, as has been said here, who built, operated, and maintained them, and because of special cable car heroes who created them, saved them, rebuilt them. Senator Feinstein, we're thinking of you, and who celebrated them to the entire world. We lost one of those heroes just 10 days ago, but the gift he gave our cable cars will live on through the enduring popularity of the song that became his signature 61 years ago, that unquestionably enticed millions of people to come here from Fremont, Oakland, but also Paris and China and Japan, all over the world, to feel that fog that he sang about and to ride those little cable cars halfway to the stars. We have requested, and I'm so glad to hear the mayor say what she said today, that a cable car be dedicated to Tony Bennett. We're going to have a party when that when that happens, and we'll be here for that. Let's remember him. Is Don Neely here? Don Neely is a wonderful San Franciscan, and wave your hand, Don. Musician. There he is. Don, can you play for us? You know what we need. Is he there? He's Don Neely. No?
Let's just sing it.
Well, we're going to have to sing it by ourselves. I left my heart in San Francisco, high on a hill. It calls to me to be where little cable cars climb halfway to the stars. The morning fog may chill the air. I don't care. My love waits there in San Francisco, above the blue and windy sea. When I come home to you, San Francisco, your golden sun will shine for me. Thank you all for coming. Happy anniversary, Cable Cars. Thank you all.